I'm Miguel Angel Valero. I'm a professor at the Polytechnic University of Madrid, and I am managing this table as a member of the scientific committee of the DRT, and I will be speaking about open solution of sweeping and beating in accessible mobile devices for people with physical disability that the ASPAI Madrid Consortium and the ELEA company have prepared. Microphone, please. As I was saying, our work is based on teamwork. I was in charge of this project called Access Mobile, but there's many other team members. You have the names on the screen. And to begin with, and as an introduction, I'll begin by explaining that in 2011, the rate of penetration of mobile technology in Spain is 116%. There's 10 million touch screen telephones, and 67% of the population with a disability say that they have problems to move or to handle objects. That is, there is a huge mobility problem among the people with a disability with touch devices. Also, within the group of disabilities, there's many different groups with different functional capacities and with specific needs, so that they can all have equal access to tactile touch telephony just like anybody else. That is why we have the Access Mobile solution, which is based on the 2010-2011 it's also called for tenders in order to create a mobile communication system, something accessible, open, device independent and low cost for people with motor disability. Also, when speaking about accessibility of mobile phones, typically we have two approaches. One is the one that you see second in this slide. That is, the scientific community or the industrial community mainly focus in trying that the presentation of contents be made accessible. However, there is a bigger problem that the consortium is trying to solve, that the interaction of reduced mobility with a touch mobile phone. A person with mobility problems not only cannot interact properly with the screen. In 2009, we found that 2.8 million people have difficulties in basic activities of their daily life, including the use of the telephone. Still another piece of context, 2 out of 3 people with a disability, 2 out of 3 state that being able to contact or contacting people which are not in their direct environment is impossible or almost impossible. That is the reason why Access Mobile was established. The 2 objectives were facilitating accessibility to the touch mobile phone to people with reduced mobility in the upper limbs, and as a consequence encouraging the transfer of that solution to society with an accessible solution, something that everybody can have access to. As far as the first objective, although I'll explain it in more detail, it includes a low-cost solution, being able to use the standard functions of different mobile devices, to incorporate the sweep system through a button connected to a device and which can be fed through the voice, and make compatibility with different touch mobile devices possible. It is true that accessibility in mobile phones, many efforts have been done, not sufficient in our opinion, but a few of them, and the ones that exist mainly dealt with designing graphic user interfaces so that they're clear, simple, incorporating voice recognition, and this is good for audio, cognitive and hearing and visual disability, but totally inappropriate for people with physical disabilities as far as the touch mobile phone is concerned. So this is something that we still need to solve. It is true that there are accessible solutions with people with reduced mobility, but normally with PCs there's alternative solutions and some proprietary solutions. But when studying this solution, nothing was at the nothing could be accessed to this population. I'm not going to read these slides to you because they will be included in the final report. So we started analyzing the different groups' needs, and we're very proud to say that not only did we work with ASPAIN, we also attracted other associations such as APAM and SIADAC, who also work with people with brain damage. And so these three groups started wondering, along with professionals, what problems the group has, what is it they want for the future, what needs do they need to cover, and which can be covered by mobile telephony, and what is considered to be a right for them as far as communication and social inclusion. So the work that we did at the end of last year, beginning of this year, included interviews with people and the use of mobile telephony. And the first conclusion is that touch mobile telephony should contribute to their personal autonomy. And this is basically translated into two ideas. Usage